This morning on Chris 6 Sunrise, what to expect as a federal judge prepares to hear arguments in a case that could force Corpus Christi mayor from office.
Plus, Sheriff in Jim Wells County looking to help families this summer. How they're looking to fill that gap and to fill the stomachs of kids while school is out.
And a record number of travelers are expected to hit the road on Thursday for Memorial Day weekend. What experts say needs to happen before gas prices start to drop.
Hey there, good morning, folks. If you're just joining us, thanks for watching Chris 6 Sunrise, and once again, waking up with the Hoffmans. I'm Brian Hoffman.
And I'm Michelle Hoffman. Folks, we hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. I know we did. We were pretty busy. But let's check in with meteorologist Stephen Jones to see if our forecast is looking good for today and the rest of the week.
Well, howdy and happy Monday, Coastal Bend. I'm meteorologist Stephen Jones. Taking a look at our almanac data from yesterday, we topped out at 89 degrees for that daytime high over from CCIA. At least it was shy of that record high we set back in 1946 there of 96 degrees, and the record low 54 from 1970. Not too bad. Doesn't sound too bad, at least as we're heading into May. But in terms of the rainfall deficit, climbing a little bit more over that 4-inch mark for 2026 so far, but looks like we could put a dent in that number as we head through later portions of the week. For our school day forecast today, holding on to a decent amount of cloud cover out there in the morning, but starting to clear out more as we're heading into the afternoon, luckily with plenty of sunshine. 88 degrees by 3 p.m. for us, and then as we're heading in towards that daytime high, about 89 my forecast here in Corpus Christi at least. As we're going through the next few days, the muggy meter staying nice and high on the board around that 75 degree mark, pushing into the oppressive categories. You're going to want to make sure you stay cool out there. Luckily, it does lead to some more rain chances as we're heading towards the end of the week.
And if you're just heading out the door, take a look at the local drive times. Downtown to the island, 22 minutes. Robstown to downtown, oh, looks like we just got to jump actually, about 20 minutes. Watch out for a little bit of traffic heading on into town. Calallen to downtown, looking at 12 minutes. We're going to give you further traffic updates in just a little bit. Well, hey, a court hearing is expected to take place this afternoon.
This is for the removal of Corpus Christi Mayor Paulette Guajardo. It will take place at the Nueces County Courthouse. The mayor wants a judge to stop removal proceedings started by a citizen petition. She says the process violates her rights. The hearing is set to begin at 3.
I'm Melissa Trevino in Jim Wells County, where Sheriff Joseph Guy Baker is leading a community food drive to help local children this summer. With summer break right around the corner, many families across Jim Wells County are facing the reality of higher grocery bills without school meals to help fill the gap. That's what inspired Sheriff Joseph Guy Baker to step in and start a community food drive. The effort is not connected to the Sheriff's Department, but instead focuses on helping families who may struggle to keep food on the table while school is out.
The cost of everything is going up, and so I just want to make sure that these kids have something to eat, have some snacks, maybe some drinks and stuff like that.
He says he wants to make sure no family feels embarrassed asking for assistance. Food distribution is expected to begin next week at his family's business, and there will be no requirements to receive help.
3 people are in custody this morning after multiple shootings in the Austin area. The mayor of Austin says at least 10 shootings occurred between Saturday night and Sunday morning. One person was left in critical condition as a result, and 3 others suffered from minor injuries. A shelter in place was issued for several hours until a 3rd suspect was arrested just hours ago.
Well, the White House continues to weigh whether to continue bombing Iran or keep the fragile ceasefire. On Sunday, Trump posted on social media that the clock is ticking for Iran and that they need to move fast or there will be nothing left. Trump is also scheduled to meet with his top national security advisor this week, actually, according to Axios. That meeting will reportedly be over military action in Iran.
The pain at the pump is not expected to stop people from traveling this week. This comes as gas prices increased 50% since the war with Iran began. AAA estimates a record 45 million people will travel 50 miles or more between Thursday through Memorial Day on the 25th. Experts warn high prices will likely continue until the war with Iran is over.
Once we see a little bit more clarity in the timing and the scope of any agreement, oil prices would likely start going down noticeably.
He also says if the strait remains closed through the start of summer, gas prices could be even higher by July 4th.
U.S. officials say Iranian hackers are suspected in a series of breaches that targeted fuel tank monitoring systems at U.S. gas stations. Now, sources say that the suspected hackers gained access to the automatic tank gauge system in multiple states. The breach altered display readings on the tanks, but not the levels of fuel inside.
Cell phone signals may improve soon for residents living in remote areas. 3 top mobile carriers are teaming up to tackle dead zones. They're at AT&T, T-Mobile, and Verizon. In a news release, they say their joint venture involves enhancing satellite capacity. That way, customers can get signal even when they're far away from cell phone towers. Well, folks, it is now 6:05 your Monday morning. Thank you so much for joining us today.
We always appreciate it. Still ahead, something for the train enthusiasts. The details added to the 25 landmarks at this special exhibit.
As you may know, in the coming weeks, the story of America's 250th anniversary is going to be told in a whole lot of ways.
Yeah, but Nashville's certain to have one of the coolest ones. I don't know, Corpus Christi was kind of cool. Scripps News Group's Forrest Sanders tells us all about it.
There are a lot of ways you could tell the story of a place with the history of the Ryman Auditorium. But how about this? A detailed miniature among many miniatures, surrounded by... It's all part of something opening at Cheekwood Estate and Gardens. So how was all of this made? It's a question I asked Emily Lugson at Cheekwood.
Everything you see is made out of recycled plant materials. This is the largest and most expansive model train exhibition ever displayed at Cheekwood.
It's called America the Beautiful, National Parks and Landmarks by Rail. It's scenes from all around the country, the Alamo, Graceland, Grand Canyon Railway Depot.
Yeah, so there are 10 different trains that are part of the exhibition. We've got a Statue of Liberty. We've got a 22-foot Golden Gate Bridge.
It's also striking. I wanted to talk to the artists behind it. They'd already left back to their home in Alexandria, Kentucky, so I gave a call to Laura Bussey Dolan of Applied Imagination.
We installed that in about a week with a team of 17, including myself. We have 25 landmarks. Each one of those alone takes anywhere from 200 to 600 plus hours to create.
What Applied Imagination has created at Cheekwood is, of course, a tribute to the 250th anniversary of the U.S. And there are all these small details to catch, iconography like Wheaties. And I love this, a model with a reference to Dog and Suds. Those are drive-ins for hamburgers and root beer. And the sign is True Americana.
And trains actually play a really important part in Cheekwood history. In 1895, Leslie Cheek Sr. boarded a train from New York to Nashville and met Mabel Wood. They later fell in love, got married, and built the Cheekwood estate.
Every work by Applied Imagination is a continuation of a true American success story. Laura's father, Paul Bussey, started the company in 1991, a combination of his job as a landscape architect and his love for model trains.
I was born in 1949 and kind of grew up amongst, the 1950s and 60s when the model train was the most appealing toy for children of that time. He just never lost the love for him.
Since Paul's retirement, Laura has kept the tradition going. It's a way of storytelling that takes a whole lot of time, but when it's finished, it's quite something to stand back and watch.
And, as my dad used to put it, we're making happy art. It can't get better than that.
Yeah, that was Forrest Sanders reporting. As you may know, we will have various stories celebrating America leading up to our nation's 250th celebration.
And of course, you can check out our website. All you have to do is go to christv.com/America250, and there you will find the different stories highlighting our nation. And on the evening of July 4th,
we will have a special 1-hour program for America 250 special right here on Chris 6. That starts at 6 o'clock.
Well, hey there and happy Monday, Coastal Bend. Taking a look through our Coastal Bend Weather Watchers group on Facebook. Saw this great shot. Thank you to Chris White for sending this one in from Padre Island. Just look at the colors going on in the sky and reflecting off the water there too. If you see any good sunrises like this, maybe sunsets or cloud formations, hopefully you also take a quick picture, submit it to our Coastal Bend Weather Watchers group. Although if you're not already a member, definitely going to see some more great shots just like that one. As we're heading through the rest of our Monday, going to be on the warm up once again out there. Partly cloudy skies get us into the 80s this afternoon, 88 degrees by 3 p.m., but also going to be fairly breezy out there once again. Around 20 miles an hour, sustained winds out of the southeast, gusting upwards of 25 miles an hour. And as we head through later portions of the day, still 87 there by 5 p.m. and holding on to a decent breeze out of the southeast and feeling plenty of humidity. Forecast highs around the entire area, once again pushing those lower 90s as you work your way to some of our inland neighborhoods. A little bit cooler along the coast with your proximity to the water there in the lower to mid 80s around Aransas Pass and Port Aransas, but all of us definitely feeling the humidity as we're heading through the rest of our day. On the future tracker, heading into the afternoon and the evening, we're going to be on the warm up towards those 90s and 80s like we talked about. Not too much rain out there today in terms of the future tracker. As we're heading into tonight, could see just a few showers trying to push in from the west, but I think most of us going to be staying dry out there. The better chances for rain start to kick up as we're heading in towards our Wednesday morning and through the rest of the week. So let's watch the rest of the future tracker. Waking up for Tuesday morning in those upper 70s. It looks like feeling the humidity like we talked about with those winds out of the southeast. Tuesday afternoon back into those 90s and upper 80s once again with maybe a little bit more drizzle on the board, but nonetheless as we're heading in through our Tuesday overnight into Wednesday morning, that's where we look to maybe see a weak front working into the area, and that could kick up some showers and thunderstorms, even pushing them into the Corpus Christi area as we're heading in towards our early Wednesday morning. On the upper level pattern, this is why we're going to be seeing some more of these rain chances as we're heading in through the later portions of the week. More ripples in the flow. This general upper level trough you see in the western United States at least going to kick up some more upper level energy, helping us to get some of those showers going and those thunderstorms, which increases rain chances and some rain totals luckily. As we're heading in towards our Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, there's that first chance. It decreases through most of the day on Wednesday, but then through the rest of the week, looks like you're going to want to have that umbrella handy. Going to be a wetter than average pattern for us. Here's how it's playing out on the 7-day forecast. Upper 80s and heat and humidity to start the week before those showers return as we're heading into the weekend.
Stephen, thank you so much. Victor Wembanyama and the Spurs will match up with the Thunder in the Western Conference Finals starting tonight right here on Chris 6 at 7:30. This is the first time the Spurs have been in the Western Conference Finals since the 2017 season when they lost to the Golden State Warriors. Oklahoma City are the defending champions, but the Spurs did finish just 2 games behind the Thunder and won 4 of the 5 regular season games between the two sides. Well, folks, it is now 6:16, your Monday morning. Thank you so much for joining us.
We definitely appreciate it. Well, Texas Children's Hospital will create a detransition clinic as part of a lawsuit settlement. Why one expert says that the clinic just doesn't make sense.
Welcome back, folks. The U.S. government is sending help to combat an Ebola outbreak. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention will send additional resources to help with surveillance, contact tracing, and lab testing. On Saturday, the World Health Organization declared the Ebola outbreak a public health emergency of international concern. The disease is suspected of causing at least 80 deaths. The CDC has updated guidance for people possibly exposed to hantavirus. They can quarantine at home as long as they stay away from others, wear a mask, and don't travel. The World Health Organization has confirmed 10 cases linked to a cruise ship that docked in the Canary Islands on Sunday. 41 people in the U.S. are being monitored. So far, no new cases have been found in North America.
So a settlement over a child transgender care is now leading to a detransition clinic in Texas. That stems from a 2023 investigation claiming that the Texas Children's Hospital improperly billed Texas Medicaid related to children undergoing transitionary procedures. But the Equality Texas CEO says that funding a clinic focused on detransitioning instead of gender-affirming care just doesn't make any sense.
Of healthcare that is specific for trans people is continually being reduced, and those lanes are being narrowed, and they're being pushed aside in favor of healthcare that isn't a priority. There is no huge group of people who are seeking this type of healthcare.
In response to specific questions about the detransition clinic, the hospital says it will formalize the multidisciplinary services that they already deliver. Texas Children's maintains they followed the law in the statement. Well, folks, it is 6:23 on your Monday morning. Thanks for tuning in.
You know, we're halfway through Mental Health Awareness Month. After the break, why it's important to seek care for mental illnesses and the early warning signs to watch out for. Depression and anxiety affects millions of Americans, but only half are estimated to receive treatment. Health experts say mental health and well-being is just as important as physical health. Some of the early warning signs of mental health conditions includes pulling away from people and usual activities, having low or no energy, or feeling numb. Doctors encourage speaking with your doctor to help manage symptoms.
Maybe some increased movement, maybe some dietary changes, maybe just having a conversation, perhaps connecting with a therapist, but sometimes it just stays right there in that room. And then we do a follow-up and we check in and we make sure people are doing okay.
If you or someone you know is struggling or in crisis, confidential free help is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Just call or text 988 or chat at 988lifeline.org.
Well, a new study suggests adolescents using inhalants were most likely influenced to do so from social media. The study looks at 2021 to 2023 and videos talking about nitrous oxide, known as laughing gas. Now, researchers also show the use in 12 and 13-year-olds. Some people see it as less dangerous than other inhalants because it has legitimate medical use. Many inhalants are also easy to purchase and legally and aren't expensive. So Blackstone Products recalling its Parmesan Ranch seasoning over salmonella concerns. Now, these seasoning contained powdered milk that was recalled earlier on this year. The recalled batches were sold nationwide at Walmart and the company's website. Bottles have Best Buy dates ranging from July to August of 2027. Well, folks, 6:27 on your Monday morning. Thanks for starting the week with us.
A special performance on Armed Forces Day. After the break, the honor presented by Flower Bluff's award-winning NJROTC drill team.
An injunction hearing is expected to get underway today. The proceedings Mayor Paulette Guajardo's legal team is aiming for this morning.
And the clock is ticking, according to President Trump. We'll show you how the online war is playing out as tensions continue to grow in the Middle East.
And a little later, Corpus Christi city officials becoming more optimistic about the level 1 water emergency timeline. A breakdown of the recent water briefing.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday and welcome to Chris 6 Sunrise. If you're just waking up with us, you're waking up with the Hoffmans. I'm Michelle Hoffman.
And I'm Brian Hoffman. I hope your week is on to a good start on the right foot. And the temperatures may not be as high as it was this weekend because it was a scorcher. For more on that, though, meteorologist Stephen Jones.
Well, howdy and happy Monday, Coastal Bend. I'm meteorologist Stephen Jones. Taking a look at our almanac data from yesterday, we topped out at 89 degrees for that daytime high over from CCIA. At least it was shy of that record high we set back in 1946 there of 96 degrees, and the record low 54 from 1970. Not too bad. Doesn't sound too bad, at least as we're heading into May. But in terms of the rainfall deficit, climbing a little bit more over that 4-inch mark for 2026 so far, but looks like we could put a dent in that number as we head through later portions of the week. For our school day forecast today, holding on to a decent amount of cloud cover out there in the morning, but starting to clear out more as we're heading into the afternoon, luckily with plenty of sunshine. 88 degrees by 3 p.m. for us, and then as we're heading in towards that daytime high, about 89 my forecast here in Corpus Christi at least. As we're going through the next few days, the muggy meter staying nice and high on the board around that 75 degree mark, pushing into the oppressive categories. You're going to want to make sure you stay cool out there. Luckily, it does lead to some more rain chances as we're heading towards the end of the week.
And you know what? We are hoping for some smooth sailing out on the roads today if you're heading to school, for work. So here is a look at your drive times this morning. Over downtown on the island, good and green, as Stephen would say, his favorite color too, approximately 23 minutes. Over in Robstown, we got a 19-minute drive time with the average speed of 51 miles per hour. Cal Allen downtown, 12 minutes right there. Your average speed, 76 miles per hour. Don't be speeding there, folks. Make sure you stay safe, you drive safe, follow the rules out on the roads, and have a happy Monday.
Well, the court hearing is expected to take place this afternoon. This is for the removal of Corpus Christi Mayor Paulette Guajardo. It will take place over Nueces County Courthouse. The mayor wants a judge to stop removal proceedings started by a citizen petition. She says that the process violates her rights. The hearing is set to begin at 3.
As the war with Iran continues to escalate this morning, President Donald Trump posts online AI-generated content while continuing to send threats to Iran. Our Joe St. George explains how the social media war is making an impact offline.
President Donald Trump is once again warning of serious consequences for Iran unless Iranian leaders submit a more serious peace proposal soon. This as a drone strike in the region is raising questions about whether the entire region is on the verge of conflict once again. President Donald Trump with another warning for Iran. On Truth Social, the president writing, "For Iran, the clock is ticking, and they better get moving fast or there won't be anything left of them. Time is of the essence." The Iran embassy in Zimbabwe seeming to mock another warning by the president. "Our watch has stopped," the embassy wrote. The social media wars involving Iran continuing all weekend, with President Trump posting AI-generated images. It was the calm before the storm, the post shared by the president said. In another, an image of the American flag with arrows pointing toward Iran. But the tension is not just escalating online. Over the weekend, the Associated Press reports a drone strike near the only nuclear power station in the United Arab Emirates. It caused a small fire. While Iran was not officially blamed, an advisor to the president of the UAE writing, "The terrorist targeting of the Barakah clean nuclear power plant, whether carried out by the principal perpetrator or through one of its agents, represents a dangerous escalation." The International Atomic Energy Agency reporting that radiation levels at the site remain normal, with the Director General expressing grave concern about the incident and says military activity that threatens nuclear safety is unacceptable. While the future of the military conflict is unclear, for sailors aboard the USS Ford over the weekend, a long overdue homecoming after the longest such deployment in U.S. history. Secretary Pete Hegseth on hand.
What a testament. Something only America can do.
Joe St. George, Scripps News Group, Washington.
So water damage, even from small leaks, is one of the most frequent types of insurance claims. Look at whether it's worth buying a water leak sensor for your home. If you're not home, a water leak can turn into a costly problem, and that's why water leaks alarms are becoming a popular home safety accessory.
This would allow me to have something that's constantly there to let me know if something ever does go wrong.
So for about $1,500 installed, a full leak detection system automatically shuts off your water if something starts to leak. If it detects water, you're going to get an alert on your phone while a valve shuts your water off.
Fresh off a national championship win, now local students are using their talent to honor veterans and military members. Take a look. It was so cool too. Brian and I caught the Flower Bluff High School NJROTC drill team in action, performing at a local Armed Forces Day celebration and Veterans Resource Fair. The unit recently claimed its 18th national championship, winning at the 2026 National High School Drill Team Championships over in Florida. Their leader told us the program's impact goes beyond earning trophies. The cadets regularly volunteer at food banks and help veterans in our neighborhoods. Well, folks, it is now 6:35 your Monday morning. Meteorologist Stephen Jones will have a look at your forecast before you head out the door.
And still ahead across Corpus Christi, the last day of school will truly be the final bell for several different campuses.
There's now a water portal to track real-time water usage. We'll show you how to use it and what you need to know as city officials become more optimistic about a level 1 water emergency timeline.
And early voting for several runoff elections starts in about 20 minutes. What you can expect on the ballot if you're planning on going to the polls this morning.
And a sheriff in Jim Wells County looking to help families this summer. How they're hoping to fill the gap for kids while school is out.
Now, 20 minutes of nonstop news, sponsored by Ewald Kubota.
Well, hey there, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Well, the City of Corpus Christi getting ready for its second water information session.
It takes place next week. The next meeting is set for Thursday, May 28th for District 2. It starts at 6 at the Greenwood Senior Center on Greenwood Drive, and the city manager and water staff will be there to give updates and answer your questions.
Hey everybody, I'm Drew Bishop, and I got a lot of important updates at Friday's weekly water briefing. From delaying level 1 water emergency to a new way to track your water usage. Here's what you need to know.
So Drew Bishop, thanks for being back this week, Drew.
I'm back, and I came to Friday's weekly water briefing with some questions. For starters, recent rainfall has city leaders more optimistic about our level 1 water emergency timeline. City Manager Peter Zanoni confirmed to me that while the emergency is scheduled for September, that date is going to be pushed back.
September is going to get pushed back by 1 to 2 months at a minimum, maybe even more.
That means water curtailment and more water restrictions are going to be delayed too, which is great news for residents, businesses, and yes, those large volume users.
We see some light ahead of the tunnel here.
In more good news, remember that water portal the city has been teasing? The one where you can track real-time usage? It's finally here. So, how do you use it? Go to corpuschristitx.gov. It's on the right-hand side of the homepage. All you need is your account number and home address. Then you can see how much water you've used this month and track your usage over the past year. I spoke with Peter Collins, one of the heads of the project, who says it's designed to make it easier than before to know if you have water leaks.
It's like driving a car with black paint on the windshield. You don't know where you're going. Now that you've removed the black paint off the windshield, you get to see what you're using, so then you can make some informed decisions.
Collins and Zanoni also tell me the portal can evolve based on feedback.
The way a customer can let us know if there's an issue or if there's an idea to make it even better is call 311. So call out 311 call center that's open Monday through Friday.
The city manager says that the portal is up and running and everyone can use it for free instead of buying a meter reader or any device that would cost money. Reporting from the studio, I'm Drew Bishop for Chris 6 News.
Drew, thank you for that. So 7 CCISD schools are entering their final 2 weeks of class for elementary schools. This includes Fannin, Castoris, Travis, and Sanders. For middle schools, Brown, Haas, and Martin. Students will be rezoned to other CCISD schools.
A man charged with child pornography is expected in court today. Benjamin Thomas Milfelt was arrested and charged after police found the explicit content on his phones. The 42-year-old was part of the Morelos Elementary Watchdog Team, which brought male role models and volunteers. The school sent a letter to parents saying Milfelt had not been on school grounds since Corpus Christi police informed them of the allegations.
Well, today is the first day for early voting starting at 7 a.m. for several runoff elections, both on the Democratic side and on the Republican side. On the Republican side, first Senator incumbent John Cornyn is facing off against Attorney General Ken Paxton. The victor will take on Democrat James Tallarico. Also on the Republican runoff ballot, Attorney General, Railroad Commissioner, and Judge for Court of Criminal Appeals placed 3. On the Democratic side of the race, Lieutenant Governor Vicki Goodwin versus Marcos Isaias Velez. Also on the Democratic ballot is for Attorney General, County Chair, and if you live in Precinct 2, County Commissioner. Incumbent Joe A. Gonzalez Jag is going against Isabel Nayola Martin. Now we'll have a full list of early voting locations on our website, christv.com.
Well, hey there and happy Monday, Coastal Bend. Taking a look through our Coastal Bend Weather Watchers group on Facebook. Saw this great shot. Thank you to Chris White for sending this one in from Padre Island. Just look at the colors going on in the sky and reflecting off the water there too. If you see any good sunrises like this, maybe sunsets or cloud formations, hopefully you also take a quick picture, submit it to our Coastal Bend Weather Watchers group. Although if you're not already a member, definitely going to see some more great shots just like that one. As we're heading through the rest of our Monday, going to be on the warm up once again out there. Partly cloudy skies get us into the 80s. 90s this afternoon, 88 degrees by 3 p.m., but also going to be fairly breezy out there once again. Around 20 miles an hour, sustained winds out of the southeast, gusting upwards of 25 miles an hour. And as we head through later portions of the day, still 87 there by 5 p.m. and holding on to a decent breeze out of the southeast and feeling plenty of humidity. Forecast highs around the entire area, once again pushing those lower 90s as you work your way to some of our inland neighborhoods. A little bit cooler along the coast with your proximity to the water there in the lower to mid 80s around Aransas Pass and Port Aransas, but all of us definitely feeling the humidity as we're heading through the rest of our day. On the future tracker heading into the afternoon and the evening, we're going to be on the warm up towards those 90s and 80s like we talked about. Not too much rain out there today in terms of the future tracker. As we're heading into tonight, could see just a few showers trying to push in from the west, but I think most of us going to be staying dry out there. The better chances for rain start to kick up as we're heading in towards our Wednesday morning and through the rest of the week. So let's watch the rest of the future tracker. Waking up for Tuesday morning in those upper 70s. It looks like feeling the humidity like we talked about with those winds out of the southeast. Tuesday afternoon back into those 90s and upper 80s once again with maybe a little bit more drizzle on the board, but nonetheless, as we're heading in through our Tuesday overnight into Wednesday morning, that's where we look to maybe see a weak front working into the area, and that could kick up some showers and thunderstorms, even pushing them into the Corpus Christi area as we're heading in towards our early Wednesday morning. On the upper level pattern, this is why we're going to be seeing some more of these rain chances as we're heading in through the later portions of the week. More ripples in the flow. This general upper level trough you see in the western United States at least going to kick up some more upper level energy, helping us to get some of those showers going and those thunderstorms, which increases rain chances and some rain totals, luckily. As we're heading in towards our Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, there's that first chance. It decreases through most of the day on Wednesday, but then through the rest of the week, looks like you're going to want to have that umbrella handy. Going to be a wetter than average pattern for us. Here's how it's playing out on the 7-day forecast. Upper 80s and heat and humidity to start the week before those showers return as we're heading into the weekend.
So a plane crash under investigation this morning. The aftermath of a fiery crash during an air show in Idaho Sunday about 2 miles from Mountain Home Air Force Base. An explosion was seen on the ground just moments after the two fighter jets collided in the sky. The mid-air crash happened on the second day of the Gunfighters Skies Air Show.
We didn't actually see the collision happen, but we did see, the aftermath. We, of course, started looking at the road, and that's when we saw that big black plume of smoke behind us.
Officials say that all 4 crew members involved in the crash did eject and were able to parachute to safety. Well, the Trump phone has started shipping. The $499 Android device known as the Trump Mobile T1 strongly resembles a Chinese phone that retails for $200 at Walmart. It will have a smaller screen and less storage than initially promised, but the Trump brand and gold plating remain. Data plans cost $47.45, an apparent reference to Trump being the 47th and 45th president.
A recent report suggests considering setting up a fund for those who claim they were wrongly investigated by the Justice Department. And this includes a $10 billion lawsuit against the IRS for the 2019 leak of his tax returns by a contractor. A report from the New York Times suggests the settlement might include the IRS agreeing to drop audits of Trump and his businesses.
Well, transit workers went on strike over on Long Island. This is the first standoff at this railroad since 1994, and it's by the 5 unions that represent more than 3,000 employees. The unions are looking for their first pay raise since 2022. The Long Island Railroad is the largest commuter railroad in the U.S.
More people are opening multiple accounts to organize their money. The High Five banking method has a total of 5 banking accounts, 2 checking accounts, and 3 savings accounts. One checking account is specifically mandatory expenses like bills. Another checking account will be for lifestyle costs, eating out, or entertainment. Then you have 3 savings accounts for emergencies, vacations, or holiday shopping.
People just save $20 every single paycheck ongoing, and they have no idea what it's actually for. And that strategy actually turns people into spenders. Why not just spend it? It's there. So instead, I want people to start getting more intentional.
Experts recommend having at least 3 to 6 months of expenses saved in an emergency fund. The tech world's eyes will be in Las Vegas starting today for the Dell Technologies World Conference. Major announcements are expected over AI-powered servers, data center expansions, and more. Keynote addresses are expected by the CEOs of Dell and NVIDIA, and the conference will run through Thursday.
Well, back here in Texas, a painting over a mural in Dallas is having a more negative response than a positive one. For almost 30 years, there was a beloved whale mural, but it's being painted over for FIFA's newest painting. The change has Dallas residents in an uproar. The artist for the whale mural, Wayland, says that he never heard about the change until someone sent him a picture.
So it was really disrespectful at every level. We have a lot of walls, and you got to paint over mine?
Dallas city officials say that they recognize the historical significance of the mural and, quote, a portion of the original mural will remain preserved as a tribute to its lasting impact on the city, end quote. Wayland says he plans to take legal action.
I'm Melissa Trevino in Jim Wells County, where Sheriff Joseph Guy Baker is leading a community food drive to help local children this summer. The effort is not connected to the Sheriff's Department, but instead focuses on helping families who may struggle to keep food on the table while school is out. With summer break right around the corner, many families across Jim Wells County are facing the reality of higher grocery bills without school meals to help fill the gap.
Any little bit helps. To me, anything helps.
74-year-old Dalia Molina says many people are working hard but still struggling to afford everyday essentials.
The way it is right now, a lot of people cannot afford it anyway. I mean, gas is high, food is high, clothing is high, everything.
She tells me it's not just single-parent households feeling the pressure. Even families with 2 incomes are having a hard time keeping up. That's what inspired Sheriff Joseph Guy Baker to step in and start a community food drive.
This has nothing to do with the sheriff's office. I'm not asking for anybody to help me. This is coming from my personal funds, not taxpayer dollars or anything like that.
Baker says he received a message about food insecurity just as kids prepare for summer break.
The cost of everything is going up, and so I just want to make sure that these kids have something to eat, have some snacks, maybe some drinks and stuff like that. I also want to give out the basic necessities, like milk, eggs, bread, stuff like that.
He says he wants to make sure no family feels embarrassed asking for assistance. Food distribution is expected to begin next week at his family's business, and there will be no requirements to receive help.
And the way I see it, if you're asking for it, you probably need it. And so I'm not going to put any kind of qualification standards on that.
For more information, people can contact Sheriff at jimwellscounty.tx.gov or message him through his personal Facebook page. Organizers say the food drive will continue throughout the summer to help ensure no child goes hungry over the summer months. In Jim Wells County, I'm Melissa Trevino, KRIS 6 News.
Now, 6 things to know before you go.
All right, starting off this list, a court hearing for the removal of Corpus Christi Mayor Paulette Guajardo is set to take place at 3 this afternoon. The mayor wants a judge to stop removal proceedings started by a citizen petition. She says that the process violates her rights.
There's a temporary closure at the Harbor Bridge this morning. From 9 until 3, the southbound side will be reduced to 1 lane.
President Donald Trump says that U.S. and Nigerian forces killed a senior commander in the ISIS militant group. The social media announcement, the president says that he was second in command of ISIS globally.
On Sunday, President Trump posted on social media that the clock is ticking for Iran and that they need to move fast or there will be nothing left. Trump is also scheduled to meet with his top national security advisors this week.
3 people are in custody this morning after multiple shootings across the city of Austin over the weekend. 4 people were left injured during at least 10 shootings from Saturday night into Sunday morning.
Stephen Colbert is gearing up to say goodbye to late night this week. Tonight's show is the worst of the late show. CBS says this is not a clip show and the final show is set to take place on Thursday.
All right, taking a look at the traffic now. Downtown to the island, 21 minutes. Robstown to downtown, it's, looks like we gained a minute. There we go, 19 minutes over there. Cal Allen to downtown, you're looking good and green, 12 minutes on that one. Make sure that you drive safe and stay safe out there on the roads. Now, on to a check-in for the weather.
Well, hey there, looking at our rain chances through the next few days and through the rest of the week. Really looks like we're going to pick up, especially as we're heading into our Tuesday night through Wednesday morning, and then really through Wednesday through Saturday. For the rest of the week, those rain chances start to pick up, at least in terms of that widely scattered to scattered activity on the board. So want to keep that umbrella close by, maybe the rain jacket also. Here's how it's playing out on the 7-day forecast. Calling 89 today, if not even that 90-degree mark here in Corpus Christi. As we head through the rest of the week, a little bit cooler with more of that rain-cooled air into the mid-80s by the weekend.
So a Texas woman is sharing the inspiring story of her pet goat, proof that a disability doesn't have to slow you down. When Clara Chapman first saw her pet goat, Blondie, she knew she was special. Blondie was born with her hoofs turned backwards, making it hard for her to walk.
Oh, at first, many people didn't think that the goat would survive. But now, 1 year later, Blondie is defying those odds. Despite her disability, Blondie moves around by walking on her knees, and Clara says it doesn't slow her down one bit.
And so every time we go out there to feed her, we look at her, we rub her, we pray for her, and we just love her. And it just touches our heart. It brings us to tears to see how determined that she was.
Yeah, Clara calls Blondie a true blessing and says that the goat has become a source of motivation for many people. She believes Blondie's story is a reminder that challenges don't define a person or even a goat.
Blondie was also probably a very cute baby goat too.
Yes.
So as students get ready for the 2026 Scripps National Spelling Bee, we want to recognize those who competed here at home. The Coastal Bend Regional Spelling Bee will air right here on Chris 6 Saturday at 7 p.m. And folks, we were actually the judges. Had to break some hearts.
It was a lot of fun though, and man, these kiddos, I wouldn't be able to spell most of those words if I didn't have them like on the sheet as we were judging, making sure. Yeah, no, I totally would have failed on that one. Those are some smart kiddos.
You know who may have the harder job is whoever has to pronounce the words too. Because yes, sure, we do it for a living here on TV, but doing it in front of kids when, you know, their whole academic future relies on it. Yeah, it's a lot of pressure.
A lot of pressure there. I'm glad that we were the ones just judging them, but it was really cool. It was a great event, and we met a lot of amazing Coastal Bend neighbors and our future of the Coastal Bend out there too.
Yeah, exactly. No, we enjoy it. I think I've judged 2 times before.
Yeah, I was the host that one year. Yeah, so. Yeah, anyway, well, thanks so much for tuning in, guys. We always do appreciate it. Waking up with the Hoffmans every day, which is definitely great news there. And we hope to hear back from you very soon on some of our Facebook Lives, too. Might want to tune in for one of those guys. We do it at around, 6:40 every day. So tune in for that one. And we will be back with even more news from your neighborhood later on tonight. But until then, and if we don't see you, we're the Hoffmans. And you're just amazing.